What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, you know that across the board when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, I pretty much enjoy all of the experiences they have to offer. Multiplayer, DMZ, Warzone 2, to me personally, they're pretty much all a blast. Now, I will agree that when it comes to multiplayer, the map variety does lack a ton, especially since the developers have been removing maps, not reintroducing these maps, and at the same time not adding in new maps as well, which is a massive bummer. Seeing Shoot House and Shipment, which should have been in the game since day one, is kind of depressing, to be honest, especially when there's so much variety out there in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. The remasters are endless, and honestly, this time around, I love the map variety we have here. It's kind of disappointing to see that the developers didn't push forward with any of their original ideas. But again, push all those things aside. When it comes to the core gameplay, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I have a lot of fun with this game. I truthfully do. And to see the developers dabble in a genre that I personally love so much, the extraction genre, and do such a good job with it as well is very impressive. I mean, seriously, I and a lot of you guys as well thought that DMZ was going to turn out to be probably just a big piece of junk. I don't think a lot of people expected it to be anything too special. And Infinity Ward literally proved us all wrong. And they put out an extraction game mode that is the perfect mix of something that is very casual and also something that is a hardcore extraction shooter. And with some extra work, it could really be something fantastic, especially if they're going to hand it down to other development teams like Treyarch when they go to make their games as well. But one problem that DMZ has brought to a lot of players is the fact that the M13 is stuck behind that wall. Now, again, in the beginning, I was perfectly fine with this because it will get people into the DMZ experience, but I think it's doing a lot worse for the game mode than it's doing good. Like I said, I was scared in the beginning that Call of Duty fans just simply wouldn't want to branch out and try anything different because we don't really do that much, you know? Honestly, I play a lot of different games. I do. I love Rainbow Six Siege. I love games like Valorant or CSGO. I love survival games. I love extraction games. But typically, Call of Duty fans, when it comes to FPS shooters, they just want to play Call of Duty. You know, they might dabble off and play Need for Speed, or they might dabble off and play 2K or Madden or something of that sort. But when it comes to a shooting game, it's hard to make them branch out. And to see a different game mode, like an extraction game mode, let's be real here, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't even want to give it a chance. So forcing a weapon behind DMZ, in my opinion, was good because it made the Call of Duty player go and give this game mode a try. Because without it, they wouldn't be able to get new content and multiplayer. But like I said, now my whole mindset is honestly changing because I've been hearing tons of different opinions. And I've noticed around the whole Call of Duty scene that people are actually hating DMZ. They are extremely pissed with DMZ because of the initial bad taste that they got in their mouth because of the M13 challenge. And honestly, if the M13 challenge wasn't even there, they would have more than likely given DMZ a shot and probably enjoyed it. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Call of Duty players, what do we all do when we're chasing down challenges, camo challenges, regular challenges, calling cards, emblems? Whether you're, trying to max out on as many nukes as you can get. I don't know what you enjoy doing in Call of Duty, but what happens when you cannot complete that challenge? Get pissed off, when people have to do challenges for camos where you have to mount or crouch or lay prone, all this crazy stuff. They get pissed when they get killed because they know that they're better than that. They know that, they can actually compete against these players, but because they have to change their playstyle, they're getting annoyed with the overall experience. And the same thing happens with DMZ. Instead of just casually going into the experience and feeling out the game mode, people are forcing their way through it just to get the M13. And you can't do that in DMZ. You have to follow the process. If you don't follow the process, you're not going to have a good time. And people are probably hopping right in, no armor, small backpacks. They're bringing in the first weapon that they have in their inventory, and they're charging right into the zone solo by themselves and just, thinking they're going to come out with the M13. Or even when they're coming in with the squad, same thing. They don't prep, they don't get armor, they don't have backpacks, they don't do anything. They just go in with the first weapon they find, try to beat the boss, and then they end up getting third-partied or some other bullcrap happens, and what happens? They get annoyed. It's what happens when you can't complete a challenge, when you start getting frustrated with it. But like I said, I think it's doing worse for DMZ than it's doing good, because instead of people learning how to play DMZ to conquer the M13 challenge, people are just pretty much, straight up ignoring the M13 now. They don't want to bother with it, especially if you're a 6v6 fan. I understand. You don't even want to be in DMZ or anything else in the first place. So to have a weapon stuck behind their actual content that you can use in 6v6 stuck behind DMZ, you probably don't want to be in there too long. But that's just simply the process. When you go into DMZ, you have to build up your character. It's not as hardcore as Tarkov, but it's still hardcore enough where if you die, you're going to feel it. Yeah, you can still get weapons. Yeah, you're still going to have your stuff. Yeah, you can get a lethal and tactical every time you spawn in. Yeah, you can get a field upgrade every single time you spawn in. But you're going to feel it, You're going to go in with less armor. You're going to go in with a small backpack, less storage. You're going to go in and you're going to feel, wow, I can barely do anything compared to when I was completely decked out. And that's the process of DMZ. When you die, you have to repeat that cycle. And if you die trying to get the M13, what are you going to do? You're not going to repeat that cycle. You're not going to try to build yourself back up. You're going to die and you're going to go right back to that zone. You're going to die and go right back to that zone. You're going to die and go right back to that zone. You're going to do as many times as you can until you can get the M13 and finish the challenge and feel accomplished with it. And more than likely, it's never going to happen if you don't build your character back up. And let's be honest here, is the typical Call of Duty player going to want to sit there and build their character back up? Call of Duty has always been known as a game that's about running, gunning, being aggressive. Their campaigns are always a Michael Bay style with insane cinematics, insane explosions, insane action. You're always playing pretty much like a super soldier. You really think that a Call of Duty player is going to want to slow down their roll to go ahead and build up their progress in the DMZ to get the M13? Again, like I said, it's fun that way. That's how DMZ should be played. But the typical player who just wants to unlock the M13 is not going to go ahead and do that. And instead of taking their time and going into DMZ when they want to, they're rushing into DMZ with the mindset that they have to get this brand new rifle, and they're not going to enjoy the game mode. They're going to hate it every step of the way. And I got to be honest, it's not only ruining the brand new DMZ player's experience, but it's also ruining the core DMZ player's experience. The person who's already into the cycle, they enjoy extraction game modes, they enjoy DMZ, and they've been playing it since day one. Yet those players as well are probably going to have a bad time with this because, over half of their lobbies are going to be filled up with individuals who are doing exactly that. The whole fun of extraction game modes is that everybody is in the lobby doing their own thing. Everybody's doing their own missions. Everybody's doing their own challenges. And then on the rare occasion, yeah, you might get a little PvP. Yeah, you and another squad might cross lines of sight. And it's up to you guys on how you want to carry along the dialogue. Do you guys want to go ahead and combine forces? Do you guys want to work together? Go versus, bosses? Go for the M13 at that point with, a group force? Or do you just want to kill each other and take each other's loot? Do you want to sabotage? Like I said, that's the fun of extraction game modes. But all of that is now removed. All of that is gone. All the variety and choices that extraction game modes has to offer is out the window because over half your lobby is going into the game with absolutely no gear, nothing, with no other goal in mind besides rushing to the hotspot or where the M13 is going to be as fast as possible, trying to kill the person and extract with it. It's just going, like I said, it's going to kill off the overall variety that can be had while playing DMZ. Honestly, the best way of going about things, I think personally, is not putting actual weapons in the DMZ. Put weapon blueprints. Do you see how crazy people are going right now for the crates? You get weapon skins, you get operator skins, extremely dope looking skins. And the whole lobby is trying to hound down these individuals. People are hunting down the weapon crates, and then once someone picks it up, almost the whole lobby wants to hunt down that individual to try to kill them and take that weapon crate. That is enough to tell me that skins and valuable blueprints are enough to not only get people to come into DMZ and give the game mode a try, but to have healthy interactions, healthy events inside DMZ without it getting too, overly crazy. But putting valuable content behind an exclusive game mode like DMZ, even though it is completely free, let's be real here, anybody can go ahead and get the M13. Even if you don't own Modern Warfare 2, you can unlock the M13. But if you are a 6v6 fan, or if you just enjoy the core Call of Duty experience, this is going to disappoint you because it's going to force you to leave the game in order to get a weapon that is valuable in 6v6. Again, if it's a skin, that's fine. But if it's an actual usable weapon, I think it should be either, like I said, only in multiplayer where you can unlock it, or in the Battle Pass, wherever it is, Or if they want to do it the way they're doing it right now, where they have it in DMZ, there has to be an equal challenge in multiplayer to go ahead and get the weapon too. Because if they only allow it in DMZ, trust me, 6v6 fans are going to riot. They're going to absolutely riot. And like I said, putting skins in these positions is just as good in my opinion. I think people will be excited enough to go ahead and explore these events, but it won't piss off your 6v6 crowd as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat me, this is where you do so. I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, if you want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, there's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.